One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Chicago Bears. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Willis going to look to throw first play. That's going to be caught. It's Jakobi Meyers. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 55 yards.
No surprise he was targeted on that play because you and I both know quarterbacks like guys who catch the ball. But they actually expect that. They love the guys who do something with it after the catch.
Impressive making him miss on that tackle attempt. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. The Bears at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
That's out wide here for Robinson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
After 60. On the ball, now.
Again, it'll be Robinson. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr., his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Bears put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
to about the 48-yard line. This defense for the Bears, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Herbert able to get this one to Eckler out of the backfield, and they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Running on first down, Eckler. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. It's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. This is a counter play. Eckler, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. On the return is Jones from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago and in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. The contact on that run came pretty early. Nice job just to push forward and get some extra yardage. Good game.
It certainly was because the initial contact did not signal the end of the play. His mind, his body, his legs said keep turning forward, and he gained more yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
Now they'll look to Willis to throw.
He'll buy some time right.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the pickup, but now they'll have some options on second and short.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need him.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. Touchdown! Gerald Everett, 26 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Third down, it's Willis. Looking downfield for Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
54-yard punt, 14 on the return, nets him 40. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Let's go.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll send the tight end in motion. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bears are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Willis to throw on second.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, touchdown, Chicago!
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Parham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler to the 43, 2nd down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter.
He finds his target, Allen.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 35.
A good pickup there at 22.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. 1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now up to 14.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone.
And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and 12, Willis. He finds Howard complete. So 8 yards on the completion there, and now we've got a 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Willis from the gun on 3rd down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Pulled in at the 24. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 11. Here's Herbert. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he'll go right back to Allen. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Eckler now between the tackles. And some room to maneuver. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Herbert. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
And the Bears are right back in this football game. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback to just throw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Off the play fake, here's Willis.
He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Play fake, here's Willis.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
As a quarterback, Charles, you have to imagine that he knew that heat was coming there on that snap, but this time the pressure forces him into an interception.
Absolutely he knew, and maybe that's a spot in other parts of the game. He's going to think about just throwing that one away, but down late in the 4th quarter, he has no choice, no luxury. He's got to try and make a play. And even with that pressure around him, he tried to complete it downfield to no avail.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Herbert now. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
A give, Eckler running to the right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Now Herbert.
He's got Allen. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Hopkins' kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The return is Jones from the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Bears. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Man, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. So they came in here facing a very tall task going against the NFL's #1 ranked defense, but they got the job done. Charles, really an outstanding performance.
They certainly showed that they weren't going to be intimidated, didn't they? They took out the best defense in the NFL today, took it right to them, and that's against a group of guys that is used to shutting people down. To me, this is going to be a signature moment for this team season.
So for the Chargers, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss here.